Yo, so in this video we got Cam, Mase, and Jadakiss, right? And in the comment section we got quite a few people reacting to Mase's attire and Jadakiss's attire and so on, right? And let's take a look, and I'm gonna show you like a couple of things, right? I'm gonna show you the comments from in the comment section regarding their attire, as well as I took some time to create a sociological and psychological profile on these people's personality. So sit back and enjoy this. Let's get into it. All right, so here in the video, and I'm gonna mute it so you can quickly see. I'm gonna mute the video, but first I'm gonna read a couple of comments. So I scrolled down, and this person says sagging at 50 is crazy. And you can see they got a couple of likes and replies. The next person says, "Is that Pastor Mase with his pants hanging down in the orange jacket?" I hate this trend of people telling people how to be grown. Them three dudes have accomplished more on this earth than most of y'all in the comment section combined. STFU, y'all know what that is. About their clothing, they can wear WTF, what they want. Mace better attach the rest of his pants onto his outfit. That was pretty funny though. I give him that one. This energy, let's see. How they supposed to dress, bro? These dudes are 50 years old, dressing like teenagers, shaking my FH, shaking my head, pull your pants up. Is Mace still a pastor? I'm asking for a friend. I never seen a pastor wearing his pants with his belt wrapped around his thighs. Mace with his pants halfway down is diabolical. Let's show the young man how to do it the right way. Now, so like I said, this is interesting, right? Because we got a few things happening here, and I'm gonna take the time to explore it, okay? Because I find this interesting across social media, so I just want to take the time to touch on it. So let's take a look at the first person. Saggin at 50 is crazy. Now, this person displays high social comparison orientation. So, which means they frame behavior against an age norm, which is 50 in this case, implying internalized age appropriate standards. Think about this. When internalized, okay, so what we think about is, you're born into this world, you grow up. As you're growing up, you're being conditioned based on your environment. So we have different levels, right? You have your family level, your neighborhood level, your city level, and so on. And it just begins to expand out to, the global level, right? And so within these levels, you have what's described as, traditions, cultural traditions, and so forth. And when you think about it, it's like as you're growing up, obviously a lot of these things we don't think about very carefully, right? We're not like critically thinking about these things as we grow up. We're just like, oh, mom and dad said this, or my family is saying this is how we're supposed to dress, or this is how we're supposed to act, and then you just pretty much just follow along. But as we get older, you develop the ability to think critically about any and everything. Then you have to take a closer look and ask yourself, like, is this how I personally feel, or is this based on this conditioning that I've received as I was growing up? Like, is this? And so and a lot of times that's challenging to think about, like to identify or distinguish between whether it's how you feel or it's something that's conditioned in your mind, right? So this is a lot of this is these thought processes, these comments, these statements. You know, I would love to ask these individuals, like, are you certain that this is how you feel personally, or is this a result of how you've been conditioned to feel? Now, the only way, one of the only ways a person is going to be able to answer that question objectively is if they take the time to think about that. Okay, now moving on. So mild superiority humor. Okay, the laugh emoji plus crazy suggests they feel comfortable joking at someone else's expense. Now, conformity expectation. They assume there is a correct way to dress at a certain age. They assume this. What about individualism? What about living and let live? What about the freedom of expression? So as long as you're not violating the laws of society, right? The laws within your society, be it at the federal level, state level, city level, familial level, cultural level, whatever. Like, so you have your laws, and then you have your cultural norms, if you will. So if you're not violating any laws, which typically is supposed to be universal for that group, right, for that locale, and beyond that, it's like, all right, everything else is just up to you and you and your community. So they assume that there's a correct way to dress at a certain age. Now, many, like, if you grew up listening to hip hop, watching hip hop, from the beginning. I'm 46 years of age. All right, so a lot of these guys grew up establishing the fashion that we see today. Like, it was inspired by these guys. I'm from Detroit, man. So, like, fashion is like a big thing. Now, we started this stuff. I ain't even going front. We started it. We started fashion. All right. So from how you rock the suits, from like the flashy, the colorful, just go back in the day and watch any Motown, what I'm saying, group. But these guys from New York, Harlem, come on, man, you got to give it to them. Like, they know what they doing when it comes to, getting fly, like creating a trend, some sort of fashion trend or whatever. They did this. They've been doing it. Like, and if you think about Saggin, a lot of these guys, we were seeing these guys on TV, like that. They was initiating this stuff. Okay. Why should question if this is what they started? Why should they start? Why should they stop based on other people's ideas of what is age appropriate? And now if we flip the argument and we look at both sides objectively, you get it, like, right? So let's say a person truly feels like they object to this form of dress, right? This form of dressing. If that's how they feel, then that's cool. The question is does anyone feel like they should be able to project what they feel and think about a way of dressing onto others to get others to conform? Okay? Or do you believe it's cool to let people just do their thing? You do your thing, dress the way you want to dress, and let them dress the way they want to dress. If you don't like what you see, you don't have to look. Look away. All right? You can look away. Now, from the sociological point of view, this would be considered norm policing, right? Because you're growing up in this locale, family, neighborhood, community, city, state, whatever, and people will naturally do this, like, yo, you're not supposed to do that, or this isn't cool, or that isn't cool. Now, if we're talking morals, and ethics, I feel like that's all good. But when we're talking about the like free will, like freedom, that's why a lot of people want to come to America, is like to be able to express themselves freely. Now, I don't believe dressing is going to hurt anyone's pride or ego or feelings or anything like that that's important. Like, it's not attacking anyone's morals or ethics or anything like that. This is just the freedom to express. Like, dress the way you want to dress. If you want to, you know, wear shades inside the building or a hat inside the building, whatever, then do you. You know, it doesn't hurt anybody. That's what you want to do. So enforcing community expectations about masculinity, age, and presentation. And then there's a general generational boundary marker. Sagging is coded as youth culture. They're reinforcing age segmentation. And I feel like that's, now this is my opinion. Actually, I'm not even going to state an opinion. I'm going to ask a question. Why should we segment this? Why should we like attach it to a specific age segment? Like, oh, if you're this age, only you can do this. Like, these are not written rules. These are just norms based on your culture. But how do you really feel about that? Being restricted by others' thoughts on how you should behave or express yourself. I'm not, like, again, I'm saying outside of the morals and ethics. I'm saying outside of that, and laws, okay, that govern the city, state, federal, level, okay. Beyond those, why should we continue or further restrict people's freedoms? Okay, that's the whole point of the Constitution and the Bill of Rights, right? Is to establish what people should be able to freely do. And to express yourself however you feel makes you feel great, makes you feel good. I feel like that's cool. Now, there's also the status hierarchy. Their comment also subtly establishes an I'm normal, you're not dynamic. So I'm 50 and I don't dress like that, and it's not normal or appropriate for 50-year-olds to dress like that. I'm like, yo, think about that, bro. What if the powers that be said that you had to dress like based on, let's say you're 50 and you like to wear the suits, and you like to go get the Stacey Adams or some other type of like Louis Vuitton or type of solid colors or whatever. Just think about this for a second. But what if the powers that be said, nah, you can't wear dark browns or blacks. You got to wear neon greens or some bright color or whatever, or baby sky blue or something, or North Carolina blue shoes with all of your outfits. Think about this, because that's what this is heading towards. It's like, if you want to think about this objectively and see, like, if I project this thought process onto others, what would I feel? How would I feel if others projected their thought process onto me and restricted my ability based on what they think? Restrict my ability to express myself based on what others think and feel, just because they're in a position of power. And so you see that there's an example of this, right? You see this in places like the military or at certain jobs, right? Some jobs you can dress however you want to dress. There's no dress code. In other jobs, there's a dress code. It's like, nope, you got to do it like this. Even if you feel like the outfit is or the uniform is whack. They like, listen, either you conform or you go, right? So a lot of people don't like it. Well, I won't even quantify it. There's people who don't care and there's people who don't like it, right? And so when I was in the military, uh, yeah, we had the dress code, but I pushed the limits every single time, bro. Like I pushed the limits. Like yo, they was like, yeah, you got to wear these overalls, and it's basically like a Dickie onesie, right? It's like those Dickie that you see people wearing in the car mechanic shops and stuff like that. Not the two pieces, the one piece, right? It's the overalls. Um, and so like many people is wearing theirs like form fittings, like tight, like tight or form fitting, right? But me, like I said, I'm '80s babies, man. You know what I mean? Like I'm growing up in the hip hop areas. Mine was baggy, like mine was loose fitting and baggy, but it was so squared away, fam. Like they couldn't, they hated it, the higher ups, but they was like they would always tell me. I'm talking about not just people of my skin color. I'm talking about the Caucasians, the Asians. They always like, yo, Anthony, man, like I gotta give it to you, cause I had the creases, man. My creases, cause you gotta crease it up a certain way, but so many people was lazy with it. Like they creases was dull, mine's was sharp. Yo, no starch, just the iron and steam, baby. No starch. That's skill. That's real skill. I'm telling you, I was nice with it. So I had the creases from the top all the way aligned to the leg, and the boots was because you know they expected you to shine them. They couldn't be dull and dusty upon inspection, right? My stuff was shiny, like I'm telling you, man. Like they used to be like, "Yo, Ace, like Ant, man, like I gotta give it to you, man. You sharp with it, but you be pushing the boundaries, bro. You be pushing the boundaries, man." And so they would tell me like, "Yo, man, yeah, I'm a pass your inspection, but I feel I can't." They'd tell me I can't force you to reduce your size, cause that wasn't a part of the rules. Like they couldn't tell me to reduce, and I just understood I looked at the rules and I was like, "Oh, okay, I got y'all." You know what I'm saying? So same thing with all the uniforms. I did it. I was pushing it. I was pushing it. But that was how I felt in a place where you don't have the right to express, you know, a question, right? You're there to do exactly what those in authority instruct you to do. You don't get to be like, nah, I don't feel like that's the good way to do it. They ain't asking you your thoughts or your opinions or your ideas. They give you an instruction. You're expected to say, "I, Captain, I, Lieutenant, I, whatever," and just do it. So, if you haven't ever been, if you're young and you've never been, or if you're older and you've never been in these type of situations, I think it will probably transform the way you think about, these types of thought process, the way people are expressing like, yo, you should dress like this, or you should dress do this, because it's beyond that. It's beyond just like, yo, I'm 50, so that means I can't express myself freely. I feel comfortable dressing like this. Now notice the way Jada does it, right? Like if you go back, let's go back to it, right? So here, Jada and Mase, they doing the same thing. Now my style is, first of all, I don't want to show my boxers like that. That's just my own personal preference. I don't want to show my boxers like that. And I'm not gonna wear a shirt that's gonna reveal, my boxers like that. You know what I'm saying? That's not the way I'm gonna do it. Now, some boxers have a certain design to them, and it's just like, yo, this is fly. And I like that belt, the waist part. What do you call that? I forget, but it's the waist part that secures the garment onto your body, right? So some people have like the designer, and it's like I like to show that hint of it like above the belt. Now Jade ain't even wearing a belt, like, but I love to wear like a designer like belt to really show that. So my shirt, it's like I want to show the belt. I want to show the whole thing. And certain people want to show the whole outfit, like beyond the outfit would be, below the outfit, like that's what I'm saying. They'll show the boxers, the socks. However, they want to show everything. And that's the way you got to understand. People are like looking to express themselves in a certain way. They like, yo, I put this together and I want to show the whole thing. Because otherwise, the only person who's really going to see your boxers is the person you being intimate with, or somebody who, your a family member who's close to you that's in your closet or something, in your room, and going through your stuff to see what they gonna borrow. Yeah, I call it stealing because you ain't asked my permission, but whatever. Let's do one or two more. Okay, so like the preacher sagging. So what this person is displaying is, from a psychological point of view, is violation of expectations humor. Okay, the jokes comes from a role mismatch. Obviously, they're pointing out him being a preacher plus sagging, and then the moral framing through irony. And when they say preacher invokes moral authority, and their humor suggests mild moral judgment or disbelief, like, oh, based on what I believe is the norm, a pastor shouldn't be dressing like this. And again, I'm like, yo, you have the right to feel that a person shouldn't or should behave in a certain way. And again, when you eliminate the morals and ethics and the laws, if those are not in violation, everything else in my mind is free game. It's free game. Don't restrict my ability to express myself in the way in which I want to express myself. And when you see that individualism across different cultures, man, like I would see people like draw on their hands and faces and some really creative stuff. Like I used to see this woman do this at my job. And she would like dress her eyes up in a certain way and have these little dots, and then she would do these paintings, and she was just a black, like a fair-skinned black young lady, right? And then these Indian women that I would see, they would draw these drawings on their hands, and I would be like, yo, that is so dope, man. Like, if you take people's ability to express themselves away or restrict it, man, you miss. Some people don't care about this. I do. Like, I love to see it. Like, I love to see this expression. I come from, like, naturally, inherently, like, artistic. I love drawing. I love art. I love any type of art that artistic expression, whether it's in fashion, music, drawing, videography, whatever, film, all the artistic areas or arenas, man. I love it, man, because it really shows the dynamic abilities of humans, man. Like, to reduce it to just like you've seen the sci-fi movies where it's just like all the freedoms are restricted, everybody has to wear white, and everything is bland, everybody has to, it's like this assembly line, everybody does the same thing. And I love those films because it really exaggerates, like, on the far end of the spectrum, what it could turn into if someone in power who thinks the way these individuals think, if those individuals get into power, like, they would bland everything. Like, nah, no, you can't do that. So if they was the mayor or the governor or the person who could pass laws on how people should dress and everything or express themselves, like you get in certain dictatorships, all of that would be eliminated. Like, no, you can't. Now, even like I've been over to Japan, Taiwan, been through China, but not really able to experience China. But like in certain places overseas, like Singapore, I've been there. Man, there's a beautiful places, But like, if you don't know, they restrict social media. Like everybody, you can't just, they not like gonna let social media influence their community. So the government is like, no, social media, you're not coming over here with that, not that nonsense, or what they believe is or perceive as nonsense. So this is the thing. We like there's I feel like there's pros, there's cons, there's yeah, from I'm like, yo, maybe you can delegate and say in this area you can't do this. Like for example, like okay, you want to smoke. Now that's your personal preference. Okay, cool. But now the problem is that smoking can negatively impact those around you, the smoke. All right. So how do we compromise? Well, we say let's delegate areas where you can do this, where it won't affect. So all of y'all who want to smoke, y'all go to the same space, you know. And I feel like that's cool. Like, if it's like that, like, okay, everybody who want to express themselves in this way, right, with how we dress, y'all can be over here. I'll be like, all right, cool, let's do that then. Let's delegate these areas where there's a freedom too, but not a restriction, right? Um, y'all want to express yourself this way, you want to talk this way, you want to move this way, you want to, for example, I'm all cool with people like, let's put all the people who want to be killers and thieves in a delegated area. Like, oh, here's where all the killers roll. This is where y'all rock out at, all right? Because if y'all want to kill yourself, go ahead and do that, man. That's y'all prerogative. You got the free will to do that. And for those that want to steal, let them all steal from each other. You know what I mean? Like, I'm saying, like, but when you bring that into these areas, like that type of mindset, is like, bro, like, why you over here trying to kill stuff, man? Like, just because you mad or you angry or somebody pissed you off. I really wish we could take it to the ring. Like, you could challenge people to a duel, and whatever the duel is, like, the two of you or the group has to agree what the duel should be, where it's fair, where it feels fair for both sides. And it's like, let's duel it out. I don't care if it's playing a PlayStation game. You know what I'm saying? But once the duel ends, that's it. Winner takes all right? Like, or best 2 out of 3, all right? It's all good. But to restrict, I'm telling you, y'all, if you haven't seen those type of films, go check it out. Go to Tubi. You know what I'm saying? Go check out those type of sci-fi films, and you'll see, like, yo, that stuff get mad boring. And if you're okay with the boring, then I'm like, yo, look for the delegated places where there's boring. Go to the places, the cities, the countries, the where it's just boring. Those places exist. You know, so that's my thought process about it. Let's see. Last one. These dudes are 50-year-olds dressing like teenagers, shaking my effing head, pull your pants up. Now, for me, I'm not really a fan of, like, sagging. I don't really want things tight on my hip. That ain't never been my style. I like loose. I like things to fit, like, not snug. You know, this last year I bought 3 pairs of skinny jeans, and there was somebody who had my stature, my size and stature, and I saw the way they was rocking the skinny, because I wasn't a fan of the skinny jeans, because like I said, I never liked form-fitting clothes. But the one thing that I thought about, now my stature is short, right? Like, my height is a little over 5'7". All right, I put on a pair of Timbs, I'm 5'9", easy. You know what I mean? But my height is 5'7", right? But the way this person was rocking the skinny jeans made them look taller. And they put it together really nicely. They weren't even sagging like the way Mase and Jada is sagging the skinny jeans. They had the and I like to work out, so you can't really tell with what I got on now. I got this. This is my morning attire, my sleep attire, my night attire. You know what I'm saying? Lock sock to protect my locks from getting lint and stuff in it like that. And then I just wear like a little, hoodie and shirt and sweats. I'm matching though. I'm matching. I still keep it fly even in my night attire, man. But yo, like, the way he was rocking it, I was like, yo, that's fly. And it was like all white. And then my son, like, my sons was doing it because they was rocking the skinny jeans, and I was like I wasn't a fan. But my sons are, they taller than me. Like one is 5'10", the other is over 6 foot. But the way they was wearing it, I was like, yo, I gotta give my sons props on that, because I was not a fan of the skinny jeans. Like, I like the loose, what do you call it? Loose fit. They call them loose fit. Boot cut, because I used to like to wear the jeans with the Timbs, or the some sort of boots, some sort of boot, like Nike boots, Timbs, or Rockports. But I'm wrapping up the video with this. This last person, but I just want to say this, like, you have certain people who will, how should I express this? I saw it in the way they was rocking it. I was like, now that right there is fly. I can get with that. So when I bought it, I was like, let me see if I see some, jeans that I feel like, works for me. So I had this, these white jeans, and dang, I should, if I had the video already ready, I'd show you on my Instagram the way I was rocking it. Or let me see if I can pull it up. If it lets me pull it up quickly, because and then I'll wrap up this. See, now you gotta go through all this scrolling, man, and I got a ton of videos, so I'm probably not gonna find it. So as you can see, like, I like loose fitting clothes mostly. Like, this is more my style, you know what I mean? But the sweats, a shirt that's not, and I'll wear, like, because I work out, so sometimes I want to show, like, what I'm saying, the results of my workout. So like, um I'll do that in the video. But I wanted to show this one outfit. Maybe I didn't even post it. It's me in a suit. Oh yeah, I think I did post it. I love fashion, like I said, from Detroit, man, doing my thing. But let's see, like, like, if you notice, my pants are not really on my, all the way up on my hip, like on my, all the way up above my, like, waist. Like, they're slightly down, but the way I'm gonna rock my shirt is gonna be like, just come down low enough, you know what I'm saying? And then, that's how I'm gonna do it. But and then, with the suit and everything else, I was trying to find those. So like, see, like, my pants ain't all the way up. Like, I'm not like gonna sag as heavy as they are. That ain't really my style. But I'm gonna show, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna just do my thing. But that's how I do it. I thought I had the the ones with the, I didn't post it. I thought I did though. So here you can see, like, I'm still set now. Like I said, I'm 46 now. This I like the more like rugged, lumberjack style. Like you can see, you can tell that I'm like my pants. I never like my pants like secure on my waist. I don't even like wearing seatbelts across my chest. Like I just don't like things that make me feel restricted. That's all. Like I just like things to be loose. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not really a fan of like sagging in every pair of pants like really heavy, but it depends on how I feel like the style, like the way the jeans are or whatever. But stuff like that. But I like the way, what I'm saying, these jeans, uh, like the leg cut, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, man. Like, to each his own. But I don't want to show but some people do like showing their boxes. I don't want to show my boxes. That ain't what I'm looking to do. I want my shirt to come just where my belt is, because if I got it like a designer belt on, I'm wearing a plain belt on this one, but so I didn't want to show it. But I want to show that, but I really like just the lumberjack style. So um, more rugged, you know what I'm saying? Not clean, not like the clean, um, like I don't even want my hair like freshly twisted. I just like the, like I don't like none of that. I like the rugged. I always like the rugged style, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, I'm gonna wrap with this. So I didn't post it. I thought I had the video posted, but I don't. But anyway, so getting back to the point. This person's direct communication style is pull your pants up, right? Indicates assertiveness and a desire for control. Low tolerance for norm deviation. Okay, low tolerance for norm deviation. So this strong reaction with shaking my effing head, exclamation marks, suggests irritability towards these what they consider or perceive as violations. And conventionalism, they're for the convention, right? Strong preference for traditional behavioral expectations. And the sociological signals displayed here are generational gatekeeping, right? Enforces rigid adult identity markers like, no, this is the way adults are supposed to be. And I'm like, no, bro, that's how you want to be. So do you, let me do me, you do you. Like, because if you think about this, think about this carefully, objectively, flip the argument, look at it carefully on both sides. Do you want somebody to restrict you in every area of your life? The way you brush your hair, brush your teeth, get dressed, the way you sleep, how you eat, how you get your money. Those things can reach like tentacles, like an octopus's tentacles in every area of your life. Like people's thought process on how they want it to be done and how they feel it should be done, and then how they're going to project it to you. Like, and so they say, because they have the power, this is how you're going to do it. Think about it from your family's point of view, growing up as a child with your parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles, and all of that. And then in schools, teachers, principals, anywhere where there's authority, right? You can see like anything could be policed. And your parents will say, no, you can't wear that. You can't dress like that. You can't do this. And some people will be thinking like, man, I can't wait to get older and get to the point where I could do my own thing. Like, dang, I just want to express myself. Now, yeah, granted, obviously there's areas where, children just they're unaware. But what harm are they going to cause people by the way they dress? No harm is going to come to, I can't perceive any harm coming to the other people based on the way these people are dressing. So just sticking to this context, we're talking about fashion, clothing, okay, the way people choose or prefer to dress. I don't see this creating harm, right? So strong preference for traditional behavioral expectations. And I would, in my thought process, if I'm thinking about it objectively, I don't want people restricting me based on what their preferences are. You live the way you prefer. I live the way I prefer. Let live and let live. That's how I see it. Now, from the sociological point of view, generational gatekeeping, like I said, enforces rigid adult identity markers, respectability politics, which means belief that certain appearances equals maturity, responsibility, and respect. That's how you feel. My pops was the same way. He felt like men should always wear suits or some variation of that suit. I was like, Pops, that's not me, man. I'm like that. And I used to tell him, like, that's you. He was like, well, man, a grown. I was like, Pops, that's y'all. Every person that wants to wear a suit, God bless. Y'all do you. But you saw. I know I look good in a suit, bro. Like, I know I look good in a suit, bro. But I'm gonna do it the way I do it. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna do it the way I do it. But it's like let me show. I'm just gonna show it. Like, yeah, you see like how I put it together, man. Like, I do the suit too. You know what I'm saying? But when I feel like it, it's when I feel like, what do I want to express right now? How am I feeling? If the suit helps me capture that, or a form of this type of dressing makes me feel like that, like how I'm feeling, I'm trying to express how I'm feeling in an outward manner, right, through what I'm putting on. It's not the thing itself that I'm saying is making me feel a certain way. It's how I'm feeling and how I want to express that, outwardly, right? So that to me is what it's about. Like, so, bro, Pops, you want to wear a suit all the time? Do you, man? Do you against the hoodies, the jeans? You know what I mean? The tennis shoes, the whatever. Look, peep this, peep game. Look at the way everybody do their laces. Some people like their laces like this, tied in the bow. Some people like leave them loose. You see, like his shoes ain't even tied. Some like the long bows. I do not want to see bows on my shoes. I take the shoelaces themselves. Once I get them tight to a certain degree, and then I tuck the laces inside. I do not tie them into any kind of bow, right? You go on social media and see all the various ways that people, the creative ways that we've learned how to lace up our shoes. And I've done many of them, you know what I'm saying? Like, depending on the style of the shoe, that's the style of lacing I'll do for that particular shoe. So yeah, man, I did all of that. But the clothing choices perceived as moral or character indicators, this like moralized aesthetic judgment, I feel like, this is getting crazy. And I'm saying to y'all that think this way, I'm saying be careful about the way you think. And the warning that I give you is, like I'm saying to y'all, I pose the arguments to you by saying, think about every area of your life and how you like to do things. In certain areas, you're cool with it because it's what you are okay with. In other areas, if the powers that be said you couldn't do it that way, you would be upset. You'd more than likely be upset and feel the restrictive pressure, being piled up against you, and it would probably make you extremely frustrated and want to act out. So, and I don't care if it's something tedious as to how you put on your shoes and which shoe you can put on first and how you put on your pants, which leg you can put in first. It could be really restrictive. What type of bedding you could have, You know, whether you could choose a different, you know, certain colors for your decor, or whatever the heck it is. Like, you, anything. Think about it. You can't eat certain foods because this is a healthy community. You can't eat your burgers with all the toppings. You can't eat all of that stuff on your pizzas. It can reach into every area of your life. And and if you're thinking it's ridiculous that I'm bringing this up, that's why I'm telling you, think very carefully about these types of norms. Like that we've been conditioned as we were growing up. I feel like everybody who want to rock a suit, if you only want to see suits and you don't want to see people wearing streetwear, then let's delegate an area where there's only where only you can only gain access if you got on a suit. I'm cool with that because everybody who wants to gain access, they'll put on a suit. And let's delegate areas where you can only it's cool where you can do anything, rock suit, wear streetwear. Let's have those areas too where it don't matter. And let's also delegate areas where it's only streetwear. You know, like all of that. You know, country, cowboy, cowgirl stuff. All any form of expression, man. Like I can't get with the cowboy boots. I just don't like things coming all the way up to my calves. Um, like I said, it feels too restrictive to me. But I've seen some dope cowboy boots, man. Like I'm like, yo, I kid you not. Like if that was my thing, I would do it. I would do it. But I'm gonna drop the mic right here. I hope this was you know, not too serious, a little bit, you know, fun and entertaining for those of you who decided to stick around for the long haul. I'm gonna drop the whole video and I'm also drop clips of this video. So, yeah. So I appreciate that. Let me know what your thoughts are. But feel free to drop your opinions, however you feel. Even if you come at me, that's cool. I get it. I would prefer not to come at me with that type of energy. I'm not saying I'm gonna retaliate because that's not. I'm past being that type of person. I would like to explore everything objectively. You know, let's put it under scrutiny. Let's put everything under the scrutiny, objective scrutiny, and let's look at it and let's see, is there a way to, you know, come up with a solution that works for everybody. I feel like there is no harm done when people dress the way they dress. I don't like the projections of people saying that certain women who dress this way, they should be perceived as, you know, low class women. I'm like, a woman who cares about her body enough to work out and make it look fantastic, why can't she wear what she wants to wear? It is not. Think about this. Seeing a woman's shape, like in form-fitting clothes, it might, yes, the reaction might cause arousal in men or women who like women, right? That could happen with any article of clothing, though, not just the form-fitting articles. It's just like if the woman's perceived to be beautiful or sexy, even if like I've seen women who are covered up and all you can see is her eyes, whatever feature could be sexualized. Like right there it could induce that, you know what I'm saying, reaction, that chemical reaction in the person. Regardless, it doesn't matter. That's what I say. All you got to do is go to the studies, right? All this evidence, this is real. Like it doesn't matter. So my point is that why should a woman be restricted? Like why should a person be restricted and then be stereotyped based on how she's choosing to dress? She likes form-fitting clothes, even if she's not fully in shape or she's somewhat overweight or what do you call it, full figured, you know what I'm saying, or got the stomach, the muffin top, whatever. Like, it's, you may not think that it's flattering for the person, but if she's cool with it, let her do her. Live and let live. She's not hurting anyone by how she chooses to dress. Now, some of y'all might joke and say, well, y'all hurting my eyes. You know, like, listen, bro, I get it. You know what I'm saying? But look away. As I say, you got the right to look away. But, and that is where you have the common ground. Y'all look away, we look away. It's like, oh, I saw something I don't like. Let me look over here. Don't we do it in the movies? Like, people do that in the movies. You don't like seeing something on a certain scene, like a gory scene? People like, tell me when it's over. You know what I'm saying? Like, you look away. We have control over ourselves. But it gets crazy when people try to exert control over others and force others to conform. I'm telling you, I don't think anybody wants it to get that far. I think everybody wants the right to express themselves however they see fit, whether it's through how they express themselves in their way of eating, way of thinking, way of doing things in this world, regardless. So be very careful. And I really urge everyone to really take a careful look at, you know, these types of thought process as you begin to observe them across, you know, social media. With that said, it's your man Ace, dropping the mic right here. Till next video, man, y'all stay safe. I'm out.